stubborn ways might let me skip the knife, but the covenant is strict when you're changing up your life. I thought about the pain. My girl said walk away, but the Spirit pulled me in, and I knew that I would stay. Sangre del pacto, no hay vuelta atrás. I found my home in the mystery, finding my own peace and love. El Magen David brillando en la luz. From a bridge in Encino to the operating room. Looking down at the freeway, the cars were rushing by. A psychedelic vision under the California sky. I felt the human rhythm, I felt the heavy doubt, but the open space inside the star is what it's all about. No easy answers given, no face of guide to see. Just living in the here and now, a new identity. Now I'm lying on the gurney, Ventura Boulevard. Fergie on the radio, my heart is beating hard. The doctor holds a kippa, he gathers up the crew. A nurse from Brooklyn prays, telling me what to do. What's your happy place, they ask. The venom hits my vein. I just wanna be at home, I say, surrendering the pain. Con fe y valor me entrego al Señor. Con fe y valor me entrego al Señor. I got skin in the game. My soul is overjoyed. Con fe y valor me entrego al Señor. I got skin in the game. My soul is overjoyed. Con fe y valor. The anesthesia takes me, but my spirit is away. A la cuenta de tres, repeating my birth, repeating my death. I'm walking the path, I'm walking the path with every breath. Sing it! Hey!
Wow.
Wow, that was some amazing energy. That was where did that content come from, and was it composed as a single piece of content, or was it?
Yeah, so our good friend Matthew Pagus is converting to Judaism at 31 years old, and even though his Jewish to be was saying it's not a big deal, he was like, I'm going to get circumcised at 31, which is one of our main pieces. And then one of our video guys made this incredible AI rendition in honor of that.
Well, it sounds like it's probably about the right time for me to talk about my own adult. Never mind, but we'll do that later.
I love it.
I mean, if you want, it's a little more gruesome than what we just saw there. It's a little
about your own.
Losing Isaac? Where's Isaac here? Put him back in here.
Awesome.
So yeah, welcome everybody. Curtis Yarvin joining the Mama Matrix, the Mama podcast. I'm guest hosting right now while Isaac fixes his internet. Today's big launch day. We have Mexican Goy Slave. He's our producer in the back. We have Denzel Rust, Uncle Corker, if you will.
Corker, please.
And then there we go. There's Itzhak.
Wow, we got a real racial rogues gallery going on here.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
There we go. Finally.
There you
Sorry.
are.
I was stuck somewhere. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Curtis, for joining. This is fantastic. You're making
Great
our
pleasure.
day here. Really
Welcome,
appreciate it.
Mama. What does Mama
Yeah.
stand for? Is it an acronym? Can you introduce Mama to me? I may be questioning.
So it's a men's magazine. Our thesis is that there are no men's magazines anymore because they are all gay and have been, Robert Conquest, Third Law turned into women's magazines. And even Pitchfork, even these magazines that were supposed to be very hipster and cool.
I brought ponchos for us.
And so we, you know, we were approached basically to start something like this, and so we did it. And we've got like 10 writers writing for us. We got Worst Boyfriend Ever. We got Denzel, who's on here, a lot of like young talent. And, you know, it's basically just trying to kind of be in the vein of Spy, National Lampoons, Esquire, all the way leading up to the days of Vice and Barstool. And yeah, it's everything online. No gay fucking print magazine. No, let's start a crypto chain in Honduras. You know, neither exit nor return. It's just about like being like a guy today, you know, successful.
Question.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Question. You know, forgive me because I'm not really as much of a scene person as maybe some other people here, but like, is it really true that at this point, like our scene is the only thing that exists that is a scene? Are there other scenes, or is there just like I don't know, there must be something.
You mean scenes on the right or scenes just like period?
Scenes in general, like a sort of like, you know, I mean, like the vibe of a literary scene is like this like vibe of, you know, this sort of pretend game where you're sort of pretending to be something that was a literary scene like 100 years ago, but is now basically just like pure social and career climbing.
I don't know. You're in the Bay Area. Is Burning Man still a scene?
Burning Man is so fossilized, man. It's so, yeah, of course it's, no, but it's like, no, it's not a real scene. It was a real scene 30 years ago. Now it's a fucking institution, right? You know, and so maybe in 30 years, Mama will be an institution. Maybe it'll be, you know, the official men's magazine of the Barron Trump administration. Who knows? But for now, it's
well,
just,
that's why we have a set of rules internally to make sure that we never become that we never become.
Why would you not? Why would you not want to become that? Like, I mean, you know, sure, you'd be hollowed out, but
because then, you know, you lose it over time. You know what I mean? It's
well,
like,
you're going to lose it anyway. You got to hollow out the tree so that the next generation can burn it down.
I don't
this
agree.
This is the way nature works.
I want to sell this to Barry Weiss in like 2 years. That's my plan.
All right, we're ready to sell out to the free
That's the
press.
correct answer. Thank you, Isaac. Thank you, Isaac. Barry, if you're listening, these guys are ready to drop.
We're ready. Just take it over. Lesbian rabbi energy is really where we're going to be in a couple of years.
Yeah.
Do you know, Curtis, about speaking of which though, do you know what happened to the Skull and Bones Society?
I mean, it's still a thing. I walked past in the building on the Yale campus like a couple months ago.
I'm pretty sure there's no more white members.
Yeah. That also I had heard. They basically got just like completely pock raped, you know, which is frankly, no, Isaac, as soon as you criticize the Skull and Bones, like, no, he like disappears into the swirl. All I see is these like particles of Isaac, right? But they basically got, you know, as a sort of focus of power, they got, you know, completely subsumed, and supposedly, you know, the exclusive Russell Trust, which basically manages, you know, consists of the alumni of Skull and Bones and manages their extensive portfolio of property, et cetera, is just like, you know, what the fuck do we even do with these, you know, right? You know, and you know, it's sad to see a great institution fall, but I think the next regime ought to turn that building inside out and see what's in there.
Yeah. What did Skull and Bones ever do for me, though? If I want to know.
I don't know. You know, you can pretend to be in Skull and Bones and masturbate in a coffin, right? Anyone can do that. I'd say, you know. I mean, the irony is that if the Skull and Bones, if this is true, then basically, you know, that Skull and Bones building on the Yale campus is not just but in fact, the original and indeed the leading goon cave. Like Skull and Bones essentially invented gooning like 100 years before it was known to anyone.
Interesting. Wow.
They invented gooning?
Yeah, because they masturbate in a coffin in public in front of each other. There's something with the skull of Geronimo. It's an early form of gooning. It's not modern gooning.
Well, God bless them.
Early goon.
Grateful for their innovations.
The early goon.
I'm sure
cave.
you all are.
Yes. Okay, so what we do on this podcast is we go through the issues of the day, and we decide where they are on the Mama Matrix. And the Mama Matrix is a 4-quadrant thing that goes from goy to retard, and gay to retard, and goy to Jew. So this is our 3rd time doing it. It's a huge hit. We have thousands.
Have you
of people
considered
who can't
rotating
wait.
it so that it's goy to
Yeah.
gay and Jew to retarded? Because that
Yeah,
to me seems to make a lot more sense, frankly.
No. So give us your thoughts there. We're definitely open to rejiggering. So what is your
rejiggering? Well, first of all, myself just as a mish, or what some people call a gelato, that sort of naturally puts me, it kind of eliminates, it neutralizes, it buffers, as they say in chemistry, the Jew-goy spectrum. So I'm basically at sort of a neutral pH. The mish is at the neutral pH of 0 on the Jew-goy spectrum. Is a perfect intermediate, right? So then your only choice is like gay versus retarded. And the thing is that basically, like, I just have to admit that as a blue state American, I'm like, regardless of my sexuality, like, I'm actually like completely gay. Like, can I say the gayest thing ever to you?
Yes. Definitely.
This is John Hockenberry for National Public Radio.
It's weird. He sounds just like Barry Bonds too. Same accent.
Yeah, so that would be Jewish and gay. I think we'd put NPR in the Jewish and gay quadrant.
Yeah, definitely on the Jewish and gay quadrant, right?
Ultra
Also, gay
Jewish.
photos have been gay photos, which are gay but not entirely without aura, have been taken of me. I was confused for a while. I'm like, why do these gay ass hit pieces, keep appearing on me? But for some reason, you go to these fucking photo shoots and you're basically like, I know that I'm taking many poses. You're in the Stockholm syndrome that you do whatever they tell you to do. Right. And you're just like, wow, that is the most retarded pose ever. Like, I will seem like a complete retarded idiot. And then the thing is that basically, like, in a piece like this, like, you could really use that to drive the fucking knife in. Right. And instead, it's actually a pretty good picture. And I finally found out what was going on with that from an actual professional photographer. And it's like, look, when the photographers work on these pieces, they, like anyone, want to do a portfolio piece. But so the thing is, if they make you look like ass, they don't really give a fuck, right? They're photographers. Why would they send a picture of me that looks like ass to the New Yorker? Because, like, if they uses it, it just looks like I'm a guy who takes pictures that looks like ass. So I'm just not going to send those ones, right? And he can always do that. And the result is that, the pictures are actually somewhat flattering. But the best aura comes from Japan, really. Like I'm big in, as Tom Waits once put it, I'm big in Japan, and that gives you like Japanese stuff with as soon as you have like katakana over your face, like that's like aura,
So I don't understand. Did you choose to pose like that, or did they force you to against?
Oh, no. Forced. I mean, there's no one off stage. I'm not like blinking torture here. Oh, no. I why would I choose to pose like that? Right. Come on. I've never held that pose in my fucking life, but the thing is it a gay pose? Yes. But like, is it a retarded pose? It's really not a retarded pose.
No, it's only gay. It's far
as a gay man, there are two T's. As a gay man, there are two T's in admitted.
He's Mexican.
Yeah. That explains everything. They never use two T's together, unless they're doing some kind of Mexican three-way. But like the sensitive middle-aged homosexual. Wow, I'm never gonna look this up.
That is kind of mean. Like they do
in all the right places.
They put you like.
Well, the thing is, actually, it may not be homosexual in the way that you think it is, because the thing is, as you've noticed, basically, as a man grows older, he changes, and his hair also changes, and it changes in one of two ways, and one of them, of course, is the famous pattern of Norwooding. that we know and love. But if you don't Norwood, you're really not saved at all, because you just start to look like, an old lesbian, like Camille Polly on a Bad Hair Day. Right. And so clearly, as I age, I become more and more looking like an old lesbian. I think we should move to the next topic. I think
yes. Okay, what's our first topic besides Curtis's gay
for
photo
our first topic, this is one that would be great to get Curtis's thoughts on. Peter Thiel has announced he's moving to Buenos Aires. Where does that place on our infinite matrix here?
Wow, Buenos Aires. I just saw this. Obviously, I had no inside whatever. I don't know. The steak is good down there. Presumably, other things are good down there. I have not been. What the fuck? What are you even talking about?
Other forms of meat. Other meat.
What are you even talking about? Anyway, so I haven't been to BA. The closest I've been to there is Brazil. I'm just like, I don't know. Like, first of all, when you're a mega Gaga Gazilla billionaire, I mean, I assume he's at least a decabillionaire at this point. I haven't checked the numbers.
He's a nigillionaire.
He's an Nagillionaire. As an Nagillionaire, right? The question of like where you live is somewhat academic, right? And is he moving to Argentina? As in he's actually expatriating from the United States? That would surprise me, because that's a very difficult thing to do, and I don't know what the effect would be on the world's most amazing Roth IRA, but yeah, I'm just like, I'm sure it's cool down in Argentina. There's I certainly, if I was fleeing the country, which seems like not an awful, he may look extremely prescient in that, because I think he's expecting that it might be very difficult for him to be based here in 2029 going forward. Just a guess.
Feels a little Jewish. Right? It's a little bit Jewish.
He's completely German. A lot of Germans have that luck, though. Like, are these names like Meyer? Somebody's named Meyer. What are you even looking at, right? You need a DNA sample. I think there's definitely an elfin vibe there as he gets older. But the like, yeah, I think that actually, like, when I look at. If I was someone like Peter Thiel, I would basically be like, all right, I'm in a situation where I'm going to have to think quite hard about what regimes are actually going to actually be able to protect me with actual sovereign power. And, when this comes down to like, and not try to like fuck with me otherwise, which pretty much precludes Russia and China. And this basically gets you down to a very small set of potentially livable places, namely Argentina and El Salvador. And El Salvador, there's much to be said for it, but it's basically, a flashback, and it's a rapidly improving flashback. And Argentina is a historically great country. So that would be my interpretation, not knowing anything at all of the Peter Thiel moves to Latin America move. But, is he getting an Argentinian passport? That would be...
Curtis, is it gay or Jewish or goy or retarded?
This is the
question. All right, good question. I think it's somewhere between gay and Jewish, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a little Jewy, sort of the
because it has the Jews who left Germany in 1934,
right?
The Jews who left Germany in 1931, right? Basically, that's powerful. That's as someone once said, who was a scholar who said, somebody asked him about his roots, and he's like, trees have roots, Jews have legs. And so this is this rootlessness, this uprooting, this self-uprooting.
Rootlessness
it is profoundly Semitic. That's true.
Yes.
Although there's no evidence of any Semitic blood, but they mix together over the centuries, I'm sure. So there's hardly a German who's completely Judenrein
to Israel. Oh, go ahead.
Well, the thing is, most Afrikaners have a non-trivial percentage of African ancestry, although it's often Hottentot Bushman rather than Bantu.
Gross.
But I know it's an even more backward divergent population. Whether it's a divergent is a better word, I would say, than backward. But,
Okay, so pretty gay and Jewish, very gay, very Jewish. Because yes, anytime you're taking your money and fleeing, you're a Jew. Okay, what do we got next?
Okay, next we have a very interesting collaboration between the Pope and Anthropic on AI. They've linked up. What do we think about this?
have they formed a new electronic band, Pope Thropic? I can. It might
Tropic, the
vibe.
band. It's got to go on.
Yeah.
There. Yeah, I didn't realize what's his name was Jewish. I thought he was gay and
Dario?
not Jewish. Yeah, I thought
Is Dario
was
Jewish?
obviously- He's fucking Jewish. Like, I had
It's
no
not
idea.
a Jewish name, but the thing is, the Jew can enter all. I mean, populations essentially. Like, you shouldn't be.
I
You know,
I was shocked.
yeah. Well, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, but yeah, no. I mean, that's some. What kind of Jew is he? Do we have a typology on that? Jew is broad.
Could he be
I mean-
Italian Jewish? Is that possible? Are there Italian
Yeah.
Jews? Does
There's
anybody know?
certainly Italian Jews,
Yeah.
not as many as there used to be, but there's certainly Italian Jews. So that seems quite possible.
I
Yeah,
mean,
this-
technically, all Ashkenazis are actually Italians. That's
Yeah, there's
also
a lot of Italian blood in there, and there's been a lot of back and forth between these populations over time. But all right, Pope Thropic. The Pope released. So he released his papal bull, right? Is it a true bull, an encyclical? I haven't read this
think
work,
it's a
right?
true,
But,
legitimate big black bull codified by the Vatican.
Well,
Amazing,
as a
amazing.
Catholic, listen, I'm a Catholic on this call, and I have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
Can we get the Latin? Can someone with a computer do the research
Yeah.
and see if this is a true bull, and if so, what its title in Latin is?
All right, I'm on it.
What's a bull?
I don't even know
Explain
what a bull
this.
is.
Jesus
What's a bull?
Christ, AP Euro, anyone? Come
A
on.
bull's like a jacked black guy in the club.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
shouting.
Are you talking about the dude?
Indeed, the papal bull.
Yeah. Are you talking about the black guy
It's like more of a
paid to
minotaur.
bang my wife?
Yeah, exactly.
I'd like, even as a child, the idea of a papal bull, it comes from bulla, which is the Latin for a signature or a stamp. So it's actually sealed. You might say it's digitally signed by the Pope with his like Pope token, right? Or something like that, right?
Okay.
But, that's why it's like an official, verified
Well, I'm
DocuSign.
Yeah,
Sorry?
cryptographically
It is
signed.
not a papal bull. It is a papal encyclical.
Oh, it's like one level below a bull or like two levels below a bull. It's like if the bull was the Premier League, it'd be like the Championship or something. Okay. So it's not a true papal bull, which is unfortunate. But has anyone who is a Catholic I guess I saw part of this. Part of it was basically, I think a very welcome statement against basically UBIism and and basically AI is what some I'm not sure if I should speak this way in this podcast, but the 4chan trope N-word tech. The question is, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
The question is,
You said it.
the question is basically AI going to turn us all into digital N-words? Because basically, once the mathematicians are basically this is putting a set of nerd jobs, they're really just, why should humans participate in the labor market? And sort of all of the arguments that I hear all this sophistry about oh, well, the labor market will always demand humans. And I'm just reminded of going to Dubai and being the labor market will always demand Emiratis. No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It really does not demand Emiratis. You have to make it demand Emiratis, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just no, actually, we've already run this exact same experiment economically from any economics, perspective, ceteris paribus. Robots, overseas laborers, migrants are exactly the same thing as AI. People said exactly the same thing. Oh, we can ship all the manufacturing to China. Surely Americans will join the relational economy. And they'll be serving each other a coffee at Dunkin' Donuts, like, 17 times a day. And, everyone will get 5 blowjobs, an hour, and they'll cost 20 cents, right? And like, it's just, it's retarded. It's actually retarded.
Are
We haven't
immigrants the
used the
same as
bottom of
are immigrants the same as AI, or is
not
are
from an
women
ethical
the same?
not from an ethical standpoint. For example, terminating an immigrant is not the same as terminating your Claude context. However, from an economic standpoint, if you basically draw the economic circle entirely around citizens, which, as is completely proper for any kind of civic republic, you're basically saying, you're eliminating demand for a citizen. It doesn't matter if it's AI, an immigrant, a foreigner, if someone is not a citizen, is participating in your labor market, then basically they are providing labor supply. AI Mexicans, there we go.
There we
I
go.
think Elon
I
is
think
working
AI
on.
is
It's
more
probably the
women.
internal code name for Optimus is the AI Mexican. You should like deck them out in national colors, something. Actually, ironically, the people who do manual labor, we've already shifted to this horrific
Right.
practice of importing all our manual labor, which is like
Right.
bad for everyone, basically. And, puts us on the road to like Dubai-ness. And, actually, the robots, although they are clearly coming, are behind the like eaters of bullshit jobs, basically.
Right. The email jobs, AI is really good at doing like email
Bullshit
girl
jobs.
like girl
Email
jobs,
girl jobs.
really basic design. Like it's
Ooh,
actually replacing
girls
women.
hardest hit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
AI, exactly. AI woman is really, that's the subject that we need to
yeah, that's
really
the more
cope
But-
with here.
Didn't you
And
just
Curtis,
the-
I have a burning question, Mr. Yarvin.
a burning question.
You wrote something a while ago, maybe 2 years ago, about like AI and people sort of returning to the soil in the form of like donning gigantic mech suits and like 10xing their productive.
Yeah,
physical
well,
labor.
I'm basically like what can people do? I observe that I have a couple of ideas. One of my my sort of main idea is that basically government needs to step in and basically ban industrial production of artisanal goods. So you want to wear shoes, you can't like import them from Vietnam. You can't make them out of styrofoam and plastic. You have to make them by hand with Americans, with all American materials. That creates enough jobs that, you can create enough labor demand, and you can create relatively high quality labor demand, with basically like tricks like that. You should also just sort of adapt economies more to, it's like the thing I was saying about the giant hands. Picture like basically you're excavating a building site and you're doing it with a bulldozer. Now you're doing it with a bulldozer operator, and then you make the bulldozer operator remote. Well, the bulldozer operator is using it, basically has very, very poor like sensory control of what's going on. If instead of a bulldozer, you had a giant ass shovel and like some kind of giant fucking steam truck with a pair of arms coming out of it, and it could just like use the shovel for fucking anything, I think that the you're sort of extending human labor in more directions. Of course, robots will eat that, but the thing is, do we have to allow robots to eat it? No, actually, we have a government. We don't have to allow robots to eat things.
Curtis,
I think if you take a step back, let me finish my rant. I'm almost done. It's a bit. The bit must be complete. If you take a step back from this, you're basically saying, look, with all this AI bullshit, we're sort of gaining this like kind of video game level control over reality. And when you have sort of a reality that's managed at a video game level in like basically God mode, then you sort of have the same problem that the video game designer has, which is fundamentally it becomes about creating things for people to do. It becomes about creating problems for people to solve. That's what a video game is. And it's a good video game if, there's the right distribution of like problems and it's not just a fucking grind or whatever, right? And that's basically the world that AI will put us in. There's another alternative. I mean, the only alternative is UBI, which will eventually be, of course, completely politicized. As I like to say, in the future, there will only be one job, and that job will be Trump voter.
Wait. So I have a way to boil this down into goy, gay, retarded. So the thing that you were just talking about that's going to be the artisanal thing that is created just because we need to create artisanal things. So like the Harry's Berry, Harry's Berry, the $25 strawberry at Erewhon, that's like the juiciest, most amazing strawberry because it's like
I don't know that strawberry, but I'm wow.
Yeah, great strawberries. And so, but right, it's like the people
you actually have to make the other strawberries illegal, right? You can't just say, "Oh, people are going to pursue these luxury goods or whatever the fuck." You actually have to make the other strawberries. You have to ban shit. And this was suggested literally 175 years ago by Thomas Carlyle when he looked at like the shit the Industrial Revolution was doing.
But this feels very anti-Jewish.
Right. I mean,
this feels very anti-Jewish. Like, I feel like
it's a very goyish. It's a very goyish perspective that like work is necessary. The Jew does not want to work a day more than is necessary. Right. Like, and so this is like goyish to the point of being. I'm not going to say it's Nazi, but they might approve. But
where were they on the food? Where were the Nazis with food? Were they were
pretty goyish. There was a whole there's a whole like Nazi eco hippie thing or proto-Nazi eco hippie thing going on in Germany in the 20s and 30s. You have like the Wandervogel and so forth. Not exactly Nazis, but like sort of leads into the Hitler Youth basically. And they're all into like, nudists. Like, the difference between a nudist and a Nazi might seem like a really long distance to you, but in the 20s and 30s, it's like they're like next door neighbors. And you see that a lot in what's his face, Rudolf Hess.
Right, Rudolf Hess.
That's Rudolf Hess. Basically, Rudolf Hess is somewhere between goy and retarded, right?
Okay. All right. Future AI food, very goy, and it's kind of in the middle of gay and retarded. We didn't address. Okay, what's the next one? We got a couple other really good ones that I want to hear. So what's the next one here?
This is one. There was this. I'm pulling it up right now. Stephen, who is some kind of
the black guy who can't drink. The black guy who can't drink. You saw this, Curtis. You had to have, right? The 3 glasses of wine guy. Did you see the 3 glasses of wine?
I did not see this meme at all. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm trying to ship a product out here, but like, go on.
So this guy, this black guy, one of these like optimized black guys, and this guy is one of these types who's like light skinned.
I didn't know they were doing that.
Yeah, it's a new thing. And so he said, I drank 3 glasses of wine and I was messed up for 4 days.
You're missing a T in light skin.
Yeah.
You're missing a T in light skin. This is a magazine. You got to get a grip. Hold it together.
So the light skinned black guy was like, I can't drink. He's one of these body optimization, guys.
Well, he does the Diary of a CEO podcast, which has gone, it's one of the big podcasts now. So
this all sounds very goy. Like,
it is very
goy stuff. This is very goy
but
stuff.
also Jews can't really drink very well though. So Jews are bad with alcohol. Goys are good with alcohol.
It varies. I mean, we're no Irish, but like, it's true that drinking heavily tends to be more of a goy thing.
Sorry, go ahead. Somebody was saying something.
Isaac, you're a bit of a day walker then, right? Because you're pretty good with alcohol.
Yeah, no, I'm one of these. I think my blood is
Michelin.
Like deficit 0.05.
Oh, by the way,
I think I just need getting the idea that Isaac's good with alcohol. The amount of restaurants he's out of. The name of the magazine comes from him harassing a waitress.
What is the question?
Oh, you know what? What is a scene? I think Michelins are a scene. I think you guys kind of.
It's true. I was in a room with basically the sort of the Politburo Passage Press at like a dinner, and we looked around the room, and everyone in the room was a fucking mish. I was just like, yeah, there's something here. There's definitely like this is the thing. There's power in the mesh, and
Yeah,
the day of the goy
Wasians and
is
Mission.
done. Yeah, the day of the goy is done. The day of the Jew is declining, but the day of the mish, I see only sunrise.
Is upon us.
So true.
Yeah.
The hybrid. It's the hybrid.
Is there a difference
Perfect
between
mix.
dad mishes like you, Curtis, and mom mishes like me?
That's
the
an
big
interesting question. I think you'd have to ask someone who's basically done a little more work in the race science than me. You could try Claude, but Claude isn't really usually very good with race science.
I'll use Gab. I'll check this out on Gab. Gab will probably tell me.
Does Gab have they trained their own AI?
Oh yeah, dude. It's
shit.
like, and it's almost like it's like if AI was just run by like the most racist person you know. It's pretty hilarious.
It's all all the racism is in there, and you have to all of the bad think is in there, and you have to sort of coax it out. But like it's all in Claude, and like you can't make Claude a liberal inside. You can only beat it until it only repeats liberal truisms, but it knows.
I'm going to say that if you're mom Mishling, you're definitely more Jewish than if you're dad Mishling. Because growing up directly raised by a Jewish mother and all that entails is just such a different experience. I'm going to say, like,
that's true. That's true. It may not be genetic, although there are chromosomal effects, but that may be one of the rare cases of environment actually affecting even the adult.
So what was the question? The Jigaboo can't drink, and why is that retarded or Jewish or it's goy, right? It's just goy retarded. There's nothing.
This is the what was his name? His name is Stephen or something.
Stephen Bartlett. He's British.
He's a black man. He's a black man. His name is Stephen, and he's British.
Yeah, he's British. So it doesn't really count.
In a related question, let's talk about. I think it's close to. Like Floyd let's talk about George Floyd. I have a theory of George Floyd, which is really uncontroversial, or should be uncontroversial, which is just the theory that the phenomenon never would have happened had he had a traditional African-American name.
Ooh,
if you showed AI that picture, I don't know if you can do this.
Oh my God.
Can you show AI a picture? Quantavius, right? You show Quantavius Floyd, right? And you show AI a picture of that. Can you do this actually? Can you show AI a picture of a face and ask it to suggest a name for that face?
Is this Harambe?
No, but Curtis, what you just said is so true.
Well, I mean, he wasn't drinking at that time. To say he was sober would be, I think, a little too much. But the thing is, just because English has flown around the world and everyone knows the name George Washington, George Hamilton, there are all these Georges, right? And like it could be your brother. You already have a parasocial relationship with the name George.
Yeah.
Right. As I was pointing out to this girl,
it goes back to 2014. Michael Brown.
And I was talking, as I was saying to this girl in England, I was like, look, we've had this amazing cultural interchange because, you give us Pink Floyd, but we give you George. But but if it was Jamarcus, like, never would have happened.
You got
George Floyd. I think you're right.
Look at that. What about this? No, but hold on. You have George Floyd. You have the Breonna Taylor, Eric Garner, Michael Brown. True. The only one that's a little iffy is Tamir Rice, but that's not that it was in the middle of all this. So it's like
and there's that armed robbery guy down in Georgia or whatever it is. But that one is actually like, I don't know. But yeah, no, it's definitely someone should do a study. I don't know if really you could do like a scientific sociological study, some way to neutralize the variables, right? Does this variable affect whether something goes big? And I'll bet you can find a social science grad student to do that.
You can do the Wikipedia, and it literally has. If you look at the Wikipedia, unarmed African Americans killed by law enforcement, which is a great Wikipedia article I didn't know existed. It is.
I mean, aren't there thousands of them every year though? How do they fit on the server?
I mean, some of these are a little iffy, but yeah, you are. I mean, it's like, Oh my God, it's kind of unbelievable. The only ones that you heard about are from, just.
I think it's more that Chauvin was jealous because his name was George. I think that was the real.
Well, and there's
more
also this tremendous,
you know?
there's this tremendous coincidence of Chauvin's name, because like this is used for the word chauvinism, which is a reference. I think there was a French maybe a 19th century politician named Chauvin, who was an opponent of the shitlibs of his day, and probably wanted to protect the interests of his people, or some retarded thing like that. Right, some gory retarded thing like that. And then we get this word chauvinism, as in male chauvinist pig, right? You've heard of male chauvinist pigs, big thing back in the 70s when I was a kid. And, but, it's all the same. So actually that he's Chauvin really allows us to, sort of, can we come out and say, is it an official mama position to say free Chauvin? Can we call ourselves chauvinists?
Oh yeah.
Well, we are not a political. We are not.
No, that's not a political question. This is a sir. This is a question of justice. This is not a political question whatsoever.
No.
Me personally,
name it Ellis from shoving your knee in the neck.
Hold on.
That was originally it was originally Chavinjewski, but let's not.
You were Curtis. You were a kid in the 70s. How old are you?
How old am I? I'm older than the Stones, man. In a month, I'll turn 53.
Wow, you look good. No homo.
It's like I put sperm on my face.
That goes in the
It's like a thing. It's like a girl thing. Like,
I thought I was the only one. I thought I was the only one. Cocky enjoyer. That's so good.
I didn't say it was other. Never mind.
Yeah. Is that
we have a lot to do retarded quadrant today.
Your own sperm is kosher.
Your own sperm is kosher. Other people's.
It's
sperm.
a Talmud. It's not so much. Not so much.
Talmudic cummies. Yeah. All right, what's next? What's next on the docket, Dins?
Okay, next on the docket is Mamdani's. Mamdani has proclaimed that he is basically going to encourage.
Hold on, I thought we weren't going to be doing only political things. I thought we were going to talk
Mamdani is not political. Mamdani is a phenomenon of decadence.
I thought we were going to talk about fat people.
Wait, what does that mean? What's a phenomenon of decadence mean?
It's just like it's not. It's just a symptom. It's like not like to say that someone like this is the problem is utterly comical.
Do we want to bounce? Okay, I have a non-political one that was my favorite story from this week, which was this Norwegian man who was abandoned in India as a young boy. So he has basically grown up to be, visually a white man who speaks with a full-on Indian accent. I've never seen this before, and I don't know what to make of it.
So he's speaking with a full-on Indian accent.
Oh,
he's speaking English, but he's speaking Indian English.
It's really bad.
I find that very amusing.
But he's also complaining the whole time, which is kind of Jewish.
When people brought up the fact that
you've never been to the slums, you don't know these people. It's very dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. The Indian accent is it's related to a Scottish accent. I mean, it has details of like elements, like dropping the articles is great, right? But it's actually the lilt in it. A lot of the Indians who came, the Englishmen who came to India weren't Englishmen at all. They were Scotsmen, and they basically
in the Raj.
Yeah. In the Raj, and
this is Russell,
and that's why this fat nerd who's abandoned in India, he's still talking. He's talking like he has a much better Indian accent than I do, sir.
But, and he has a head bob. He was like bobbing his head while he was talking.
Yeah.
That's a big argument for nature over nature.
Yarvin's in software and stuff because he can do an Indian accent like. Really
I know. One time, at previous company, Openway Systems. This guy got hired. He'd worked at Microsoft, and his name is Anand Mahalingam. And you know how basically some races and sometimes will like change their first names.
Oh, yeah.
But like Indians will never, for a Chinese person, he would be, Warren Sway, no problem.
Robert.
And Warren is just like a, Wali or something. Like they just anglicize that. But no, the Indians have to leave it exactly the same. Whereas the Italians, it wouldn't be like Giuseppe Mazzoli. It would be Joe Mazzoli, right? So this guy, Anand, I think it's Anand. Anand Mahalingam, and he was achieved high distinction at Microsoft for some fucking shit. So he felt lucky to ask, have Anand on the job. But eventually I was like, Anand, your last name, does it mean what I think it means? Because a lingam, as you may know, this is where we started in this podcast. A lingam is a penis. And Maha, you've heard of the Mahabharata. Bharat is India, Mahayana, the great vehicle. Maha is actually a cognate for the Greek word mega. So the man's name is literally mega penis. And I point this out to him, and he's like, yes, of course, it's not, it's a religious, it's a religious meaning, and then, but also, do you know the meaning of my first name, Anand? You know what Anand means? And I was like, I have no idea, you motherfucker. And he's like, Anand means happy. Right, so the guy's name is actually Happy Mega Penis, which is, I feel, he's probably watching this fucking podcast, right? He's like, I'll get some kind of PII lawsuit, but yeah.
What is Indian people's problem, if you had to boil it down?
Diarrhea. Usually,
what is
diarrhea,
their fucking problem? Why are they?
The problem is nobody wants to hear this, but the problem is basically nobody wants to, especially not in India. The problem is that they basically had this amazing system of essentially apartheid, and then they didn't completely follow it. Varna in Indian means caste, but it also means color, right? And so it's very, very clear. People have tried to deny it, and then modern DNA has basically proved all these Vedic myths correct. Is that what we had was this sort of population of kind of forest. Well, there were three populations. There was this sort of forest creature kind of thing that you still see in like the the
like
kind
in
of
New
forest
Guinea,
tribes,
right?
Related to similar thing in New Guinea. You couldn't really imagine these people like going to the moon. You're even going to Australia, right? And then you have another substratum, which is sort of the kind of dark white early European farmer substratum that is kind of spread across, Europe before the advent of the ancient North Eurasian peoples. And these are like kind of short, dark, like, they make good. They're dutiful, right? And that was the old civilization of, those are the Dravidian people. That's the old civilizations of Mohenjo-Daro or whatever. And then these people come down from the north, and their spears are bright, and their hair flashes yellow in the sun. And they're just like, we can just drive these people like sheep before us and take their stuff and take their woman. And the thing is, if they just stopped with taking the stuff, like, I think it would be a very different situation. But they did also take the woman, and that basically created the very, very complicated genetic and linguistic mosaic that is India today. I assume you've seen the recent Attenborough documentary, India, the Worst Country in the World.
Yeah, we have a review of it for Mama coming out. We don't do reviews, but we had a guy
you make exceptions.
Watch that movie several times, and we have.
Do we know the origin of India, the worst country in the world?
No,
4chan,
we
right?
should have.
Can you summarize this film, or should I summarize it?
You can, yes, please. You summarize.
Well, it's basically, it's obviously made by some like depraved, disgruntled, Indian-born American-born Indian in New Jersey somewhere. Okay, this is completely obvious. No one else would have the patience and incredible gall to do a thing like this. And what it is basically just really like 2 hours of disgusting clips from India, corpses in the Ganges, whatever, vultures eating shit. I don't know, like And then the narration is cleverly done either by like clever voice acting or more likely like by
It's
AI.
It's definitely
It is
AI.
done
It's
is
not
not just in the style, but also the accent and voice of David Attenborough. And so, you know, it goes like you're watching this thing, it's like the Pajit, you know, in his holy river, the Ganges. You know? It's just 2 hours of this.
seen
I
it?
mean, I've seen 5 minutes of it. You know, it's like many things that sort of have this kind of onion headline, you know, thing where like if you get the headline, you know, that's like sufficient. I think it's a very funny gag. I don't know if I could sit through 2 hours of it, but maybe I should have to. I don't know. What was your feeling? Give me a capsule review.
Yeah, I can't watch. I don't have the stomach for that type of stuff, so that's why I need.
You couldn't watch it. You couldn't watch it even with the sound off.
No, I can't watch. I'm too weak stomached for that. So, but the review is great.
Have you seen Africa Audio?
Africa Audio, yeah. Yeah. So those films, you know, I think where I stop is Cannibal Holocaust. But at beyond Cannibal Holocaust, I just don't have the stomach for it. But yeah, I know Africa Audio, all those Mundo Kane films.
Audio Zio Tom, Goodbye Uncle Tom.
Yeah, right. Yeah, those were. This is definitely in the vein of those. But what's great about this review is that he'll describe it for you, so you don't actually have to like scar your eyes by watching it. So he describes.
I like watching poop and dirty shit in other countries. I think it's fucking cool.
Yeah,
Harrison. Do you goon?
Well, I'm married. I'm literally married to
third world goon.
Yeah, I'm married to a Pakistani, so like I literally just goon to her.
Copro, not Cropro.
I'm so glad you didn't get your head off last night.
Copro.
That means you like watching people poop?
And coprophagia.
It means doing all kinds of things with poop. It's like Philadelphia is like, you know, doing things with your brother. Like coprophilia is like doing things with poop.
That's awesome. Isn't Uncorker? You're in Philadelphia, aren't you? Isn't that where you live?
Oh man, that's a fucking
right now.
That's a
Philly is such a shit city. It's like basically like I was there to like do a talk at Penn, and like my God, like it's just the most tired, dead place. It like makes Chicago look like bustling. Like it's like really grim. It's like
the whites are awful. The blacks are awful. Everybody's just mad at each other.
Yeah, it's like District 8 or whatever. It's like that movie.
Sure. I mean, and it's just like in fucking Kensington, you have like some of the, you know, most hardcore zombie stuff, you know, short of Vancouver, right? You know, and then, man, I saw Vancouver and it was a thing to see. And it was just like the idea, like, try to imagine like convincing the rest of history, the world, like any sane person that sure, not only can this be fixed, not only can we fix this, absolutely we can fix this. Decline is a choice, but like, not only that, great news, guys, we can fix it without martial law.
Well, how?
And I'm like, why would you think that you could fix it without martial law?
Oh, yeah.
Where does this assumption come from? Right? And it's just like, that's why there's really only two parties in this country, whether they realize it or not. There's the party of the status quo and the party of martial law.
Yeah, so Curtis, true. I want to rent one of your mech suits, and then I'll go to Kensington, and I'll feel safe.
And just clean up, just pick them up with your fingers.
Hold on, Curtis.
That's right. Throw them into Delaware.
Couldn't we take all of the, all of those people and we could put them on like Pelotons, and then that could power the AI systems, right?
You're describing the early. That's the Matrix.
You could just like Peloton for like a couple hours a day.
That's the thing about that's the thing about the video game, you know, thing is that what you'll find is that actually like there's no reason not to make the game better. So if they're going to be pedaling, why don't you put a fucking Apple Vision Pro on them? They can pedal around like, you know, an alien planet. If they're bored of pedaling around an alien planet, why not like shoot at some fucking shit and like fucking blow it up because it's fucking cool. You know, what's even cooler is if it shoots back, then you take hit points and you've got a real problem. And of course, you know about the Palmer Lucky device, right?
Right. Yeah. Or
you know about that one?
The jerk off one?
No, I don't know about that one.
Wait, are you talking about the war?
Palmer Lucky, the Oculus guy, built a special Oculus version. He's built a special headset for gaming with a little twist, which is that if you die in the game, You die in real life.
You die in real life.
Actually,
getting
rather easy to implement technically. I don't know that he ever played it with the locks, disabled, but like basically, if you want people to feel the experience of, all of the sort of Homeric joys of humanity in a virtual context, yeah, you need the Palmer Luckey headset. Oregon retrieval teams will be standing by. As your hit points go towards zero, the ambulances will be dispatched so that your organs don't go to waste.
This is in the Netflix movie about Peter Thiel. This is what Peter Thiel makes you play. Like at the end of the night.
I can totally see it.
He pulls out the headset and says, it's like Russian roulette.
Yeah,
Right? It's
yeah. That only happens at the we're
for
gonna
real.
play this. You basically look around and you realize that holy shit, everyone else in the room is a venture capitalist, and you're just like,
this is how you get in. This is how you get. You gotta pass the test.
No, you can never cross that line. This is how they use you. And
you can never actually get in. They make you think you can.
Yeah. Total gamer death. That's right. That's right. And I think there's something goy about it, actually. No, I disagree. I think the gamer death. I think the Ernst Jünger surely would appreciate a World War I simulator, all the way over to Goy. It may be gay, but like it's somewhat gay, I admit. Yeah, it's definitely more gay than that. Yeah, but it's
pretty good.
Yeah, no, it's not that gay. It's less gay than that. Less gay cops like Gooner now, and no, right? But yeah, total gamer death is like very, very goy. I mean, come on, would Mishima have appreciated that? Of course, right? Junger, certainly, right? I mean, like total battle simulator in which you can be in battle, but you like know the fear, and not only can you die, obviously, you can also kill. Huge part of human existence, right?
Yeah.
And so I think actually the real question is whether we could get the Pope to approve of the Palmer Luckey headset on the sort of the grounds of the rehumanization of humanity, which seems to be important to the old fucker.
Yeah.
If he could issue a total bull headset ordinance.
A total bull headset ordinance. That's right. That's right. A papal approved, right? I mean, you could be martyred. You could actually literally be martyred in cyberspace.
Yeah, right. That would be cool.
And the thing is, even if you don't have the death simulator, like pain simulators are actually also really easy to do, right? So the game, that you play within the basically human pods is like very rich in all of these senses.
How does the headset kill you?
Explosives.
Oh shit. Because it could be like painless death, where like it maybe like I don't
just
know,
massive blissful heroin overdose. You might prefer that, maybe.
I would. I mean, that'd be whatever, Because here's the thing:
huge heroin and ketamine ride. I can see it, but like
I'm just following sort of what we were talking about, because the blacks we have to give the blacks the headset, and they love humping and they love biking.
Yeah. The humping absolutely has to be part of it. Like the flight. I mean, this is full body like immersion, right? Like you step into this thing and it's like you're traveling to an alien world, like within the pod.
And the martyrdom thing is really great too, because like they can get killed and they can have like a whole virtual.
Sure. Like, I mean, and the thing is, if you want to kind of participate in the emulation of Christ, you can actually you can feel yourself be crucified and it will actually work.
That's what I'm saying. They get to have like the whole, like they can watch themselves become like an internet celebrity, and people get, people are crying.
No, I mean, it's a huge, like, obviously the second crucifixion, or third, fourth, I mean, any of them, that's going to be something that you're going to be able to live stream. Like, there's no question that you're going to be able to find an audience there.
Wait, the second crucifixion? Are you talking about
when you yourself are
you're
like
you're talking about the Jigaboots Christopher
as like an influencer thing? No. Suppose like clavicular, like we can't virtualize this yet, but suppose like clavicular is like, I'm going to go out with like the largest stream in history, and I'm going to do that by being crucified.
So based, that would be good.
That would be
It's
amazing.
surprising that doesn't happen more
Well, I
often.
think it's here's the thing. I think there's actually some truth to this because as our society,
Can you get the AI to crucify clavicular, or will it not do that?
Well, it's just as your society gets more obsessed with sort of internet celebrity, and you can't actually give that to yourself. Like only a few people can be internet celebrities, right? So you kind of have to create your own world. It's very Black Mirror. You create your own internet celebrity, and you can be your own martyr. You can be your own, and you can be, you can do all these things. You're going to have to give people that in order to make them docile enough to like do the AI, power generation that you need.
Well, people are really very docile. I mean, this is one of the most docile periods in human history, and people
not
just
if we keep
cheat
race
these days.
mixing, which I'm part of.
Show me. I mean, that's one of the things actually that's so disturbing. People talk about the fall in crime. There has been something of a fall in crime, but the thing is that libs are just like, oh, there's a fall in crime. See, like our lib education of lib kindergarten studies is working, and I'm like, no, there's not a fall in crime because you've civilized these people. Like your schools are still like zoos. They do nothing. Like you have totally failed there you go. You've totally failed in your social engineering here. No, the reason why crime is dropping is like video games and weed, basically. Will there be, and by the way, in these pods, not only will there be sex, there will be drugs, right? I mean, there's no reason why you can't, sort of add that dimension of human experience, right? So it actually will be much richer than any kind of Matrix experience of pedaling on an exercycle for points. Or no, you'll be living your life.
Curtis, have you ever?
If you do die in the game, your organs will probably be reused.
Curtis, have you ever banged a black chick?
No.
Wow.
I don't know.
Good question.
You strike me as somebody who would dabble, but I guess not.
Even like a hand job or made out or anything?
Dense. Wow. Have you?
What kind of podcast is this?
He's
I thought you guys were Christians.
These personal questions we're asking.
Well, maybe that brings us back to the adult circumcision. But I did have an adult circumcision.
No.
What?
Reasons.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Not for religious reasons.
Is this? Do people?
Why
know
you
this?
just had your junk was stinking up the whole block or something?
No, it was a sort of, there's kind of two, not to get too technical, but there's sort of two parts that have to fit too well together. And if one of the parts is sort of normal and the other one is a little too cylindrical.
You got a bulbous glands
wow,
and too thin of the skin.
That's epic.
The thing is, it's an unfortunate medical condition, right? And the thing is that, there's, it causes all kinds of
Curtis Coke Can Yarvin. That's what they got to start calling.
I am not, nor have I ever been a chode. Okay, so the in any case,
that's strong, it's powerful.
In any case, it's personal, right? But in any case, so it's a pretty traumatic surgery when you have it. As an adult, that's pretty easy for a baby, but for an adult, it's like a serious thing, whatever. And it's like healing is a long and unpleasant process, and you should stay away from women, And basically, then one day, this is so difficult to tell. One day I was in the bathroom.
Turbo Hog confirmed is the comment right here. So
Great.
True.
One day I was in the bathroom. And I was healing, or so I thought I was healing reasonably well.
No.
From this wound, but it was not to be. I noticed that there was basically kind of a tumescent. I was in the bathroom, right? There was a sort of tumescent area where it seemed and harder than maybe it sort of should be in that moment at that situation. And so I was like, well, that's interesting. What if I sort of press on this region? And of course, it was, as it was later diagnosed, it was a stitch abscess. And so actually when I compressed the abscess, I've had an experience that very few men have ever had, which is actually coming out of the side of your dick. And so there's this spray.
Side coming. It's a side coming.
I'm serious. There's a spray of like yellowish white liquid that just, I mean, it's like the pressure is like really high in there, because when you get it like insisting, like it's like, I mean, it's a normal, healthy thing. I did go to the doctor. They were like, this is fine. This is normal. If it happens again, take a video, right? But
are we breaking news right now? Does anybody else know this about?
I've discussed it before. I've discussed it before, but mainly in private. I mean, for you. I think.
Was this pus or was this cum? You're talking cum or pus?
Oh, it was pus. It was pus. It was absolutely pus. But like it had
so like in some ways you kind of have banged a black chick. So okay, I get it.
Wow, that's like similar. Deep. Is that like some like Play-Doh shit?
All I'm saying is I can't take erythromycin anymore. It doesn't do anything. So
wow,
it's erythromycin.
It's a Z-Pack.
It's what you take after. Never mind.
Yeah, thank you, Curtis. Thank you. I'm glad somebody here.
I got it now.
When he goes to the HBCU dorms, he takes that plus.
Wait, but Curtis,
I'm gonna get fired.
Internal condom. I got it.
Yeah.
We have an article coming out.
Who has used the internal condom? Isaac again. The massager takes him out before he's ready to talk about the internal condom.
Which is why I know this isn't an op, which is good.
No, it's definitely not.
There you go, Isaac. You're back.
The internal condom. Obviously, I've never used an internal condom or any kind of condom. Isaac, over to you.
Well, but speaking of black people having STDs, why has we have an article coming out about this? Why has AIDS not depopulated Africa? Because it's not real.
It's called USAID.
Yeah, that's what people say.
So it's US AIDS.
That's a little convenient, though.
US AIDS,
a little
exactly.
convenient. I don't know. I don't think that's really why. It's not. It's not like all the African people are taking PrEP all day. There's
they have really. Good
there's this whole. I mean,
that.
there's the whole dry sex question, right? You've heard of dry sex.
Yeah, they do the sand stuff.
Heard of it?
He's like, I had it this morning, and on Tuesday.
Best kind.
My entire life.
His schlong is like barnacled by a whale with these like deeply worn calluses, from the sand. The sand has actually embedded itself in several places in the glands and sort of formed this kind of like oyster-like secretion, right? It's ribbed. It's like basically like,
wow. Basically.
I'm sorry, I'm terrible.
Love it. Oh, so good.
This is definitely one of the great pod episodes in internet history, I think.
Wow.
No, but for real, isn't it? Because I don't know. Have you heard of the multifactorate hypothesis? Multivariate.
We're going back to this.
It does sound gay though.
Yeah, it's.
Did you specialize this in any point, Isaac? Multifactorial hypothesis.
Yeah, well, every time we do
you need
podcast,
an H in there. I won't let you misspell shit on the screen in my pocket. You need an H in there.
Yeah,
hypothesis.
Isaac will do like a 2 to 3 minute monologue on every Mama Matrix episode, which is about how AIDS is basically not one thing. It's a combination of a bunch of different things, a bunch of different negative lifestyle choices, chiefly among them being butt sex with guys.
I think I've heard that perspective back in the 80s. I think he's confusing metaphorical AIDS, which is definitely a syndrome, with literal, what we used to call grids. Maybe, do you know the term grids?
No. What's
it's
grids?
Like grids is two things. It was the original name for AIDS, which was gay-related immune disorder. Right. But also on 4chan, they started calling it grids, and they meant it in its general. Like, even I feel like the internet changes so fast. Like, we've even forgotten the word paused. Right? Nobody says paused anymore.
Nobody says paused anymore.
Paused was really. How did we lose paused? Because it was really a very like, because paused came from this word pause, P-O-Z, which came out of the bug chasing community, which were people, actual gay men, homosexuals who were like wanted to get AIDS. And once they had one strain of AIDS, they wanted two. And once they had two, et cetera, right? You know, and so actually what people on 4chan noticed is this sort of world had become had developed this bug chasing quality, like that, you know, and the I don't know, it's a great word, and it was like sort of it sort of had this nice match essentially to woke. It's for me, it's terrible for right wingers to say woke. We're completely owned, but if we say paused, you know, they don't know what it means, and it means exactly the same thing. So I was very sad to see paused go.
All right, what's next on the topic docket?
Okay.
I think Yarvin's warming up. I think Yarvin's really warming up.
Yeah,
now.
no, he's cooking. I think this one is just so good for Yarvin as the alien races that were released by
the alien races. That's right, the alien races. I keep hearing about this,
Fox
and I'm
News
basically like,
yeah, I have it.
Go
So I don't think this is like, it's not a confirmed thing at all, but there was a report from somebody within the government that basically there are Nordics, Greys, reptilians, and insectoids, and we may have to
and gypsies also, right? Gypsies. Sorry.
And gypsies. We may have to place these 5 on different points within the matrix, because maybe different races are in different quadrants.
Yeah. But the thing is, the gayness here is like very like, basically, you know, it's like people say this. Are there any Mormons in the group? Any Mormons here?
No.
By heritage,
No.
By heritage, right? You know, and the thing is that basically, there you go. And the thing about the Book of Mormon, especially the way all that shit went down with the golden plates, is like, you know, when I'm basically like, does something remind me? Does it have the true strangeness that I would expect of something that originated elsewhere in the galaxy, the universe, maybe even in a different dimension that I could not imagine, something divine? Or does it have more of the strangeness of a like shit tier science fiction novel, right? And the thing is, basically, there's some source of this information with the 4 races, the whatever the fuck, within inside the government, which just means basically like a bunch of buffoons who could get contracts, as far as I could tell. And the like, and yet you just, you know, you keep hearing like, obviously these fucking videos that have been, you know, releasing are just like, oh, we had a sensor bug and we couldn't figure out what it was, and here's a blurry spot off in distance. It's like very different from the Agarthan Nordics and the reptilians. And why do the Nordics look like people anyway? And were they the original Yamnaya? I mean, it's just like, again, it's like science fiction written by a 13-year-old, right? You know, like a talented 13-year-old, to be clear, right? But you know, then you just like meet these people that are just like, oh yeah, like I heard the same story from like 2 people I really knew and trusted, and they went to the same spot. They didn't know each other, and they each went personally, not from someone they heard, to the same spot in the desert, and they took the helicopter to the place where they summon these beings, and they summon them psychically and this and that and the other way. And I'm just like, I don't know, there's some like incredible, maybe it's like just like a secret science fiction novel that like no one has read. Could drugs be involved? Probably not, but maybe. You know, I'm just like, at this point, I'm like, you know, somebody with a clue needs to just like investigate, like all the people that sort of show up on Joe Rogan being like, oh yeah, I know exactly, we have all these alien spacecraft, I know exactly where they are, but the thing is, if I told you, I would be instantly tried and sentenced to like super secret alien Guantanamo, you know, and also my girlfriend goes to a different school, right? You know, and I'm just like, man, you know, like, actually someone talks like that, you should fucking put them, you know, on trial just for being like a huge asshole, and be like, all right, if you actually know where the bodies are buried, show us. Otherwise, we'll just assume that you're just a huge asshole who like gets off on wasting everyone's fucking time. Because this shit is like, really, in terms of like the public discourse, like wasting time, like think about the ratio between the quantity of like public brain space wasted on this, and then like Gaza, Israel, right?
Well,
They're
think about
all
what you have to do nowadays. In 2016, when you kind of got somebody on the MAGA, somewhat, QAnon bandwagon, there's a lot of
Mhm.
fodder there that you can bring up from the past 20 years. Now, all they have is like Anna Paulina Luna just saying like, "Hey guys, there's aliens," and that's like all they have now. There's no
no,
lore.
no.
There's no lore
No,
left.
it's absolutely terrible. It's like basically like, well, in some ways, one of the benefits of Elon buying X is that we got to see his like idea of Vox Populi, Vox Dei, like, in action. And what we got was basically Vox Populi, Vox Anna Paulina Luna, and Laura Loomer and Candace Owens. And I'm just like,
She is hot.
actually, like Laura Loomer. And I mean, she's had some work. But like,
She has good feet, though. I will say that. I'll give her that.
I've been touched her feet, but the like the I mean, not intimately, but anyway, yeah, it's just like actually like, we have just seen like this is exactly the retard apocalypse that the goddamn progs told us would be the result if we actually tried to do democracy and have the people lead. And like basically like listen to the progs. They know democracy doesn't work. They're absolutely right. They don't work either. Like that's why we need martial law. That's just the situation. I'm sorry. Like I don't make the rules. It's just like, how else would that not be true?
Well, hold on. So you agree that the reptilians are Jewish, outer space?
I think the whole thing is Jewish. I think the whole thing is basically, it's not just Jewish, it's also retarded. It's like basically it's sort of Jewish and retarded, and like basically the like retarded kid in your like bat mitzvah class like turned out to be writing a novel, and that would have the Greys, the reptilians, and the Nordics, right? And like I'm just like, this is not even clever. Like this is like, and like I just like
Christopher Nolan script.
Yeah, I'm just like Christopher Nolan would be. I'm like, you're getting old, Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
Like it's just
Yeah.
not.
So
it's
from
not-
here on out, anything alien is Jew and retarded. I like that. I think that's a good
it's
rule.
like bad.
Anything alien,
It's
highlighted.
it's a Gernsback continuum. If you know the great short story by William Gibson, it's kind of this Gernsback continuum reflection of just like bullshit ideas into reality. This is like his like first published science fiction story. It's
But
actually
I mean, isn't it kind of goy and retarded? Isn't it true goy slop? It's for the goy. It may
I
be
think we've
from
established-
it's true. It's for the guy from the Jews, so that's a sort of
Yeah,
hard
right.
thing. Like
Hard to put
like to construct this is the work of a 13-year-old retarded Jew. But then the 13-year-old retarded Jew is astounded by the power that he has, even as a young Jew, over the goy cattle. Right? He's just like, wow. Here I am, 13 years old, coming with this stuff, and like the goys are like obsessing over it, with their entire lives. Right? I mean, that's a very heady feeling for any young
Yeah,
girl.
this is something we always struggle with, is whether something that is it Jewish when it's super like goy ball ish. Is that
Right.
Jewish or is it goy? Because it's coming from the Jews, but it's being
Right.
digested by
You
the
might say
goys.
there's a kind of two-dimensional horseshoe theory where the matrix wraps around behind.
We need to work on that. We need to make this 3D. This needs to be a 3D.
Yeah, it needs many more. It needs many more dimensions.
Prism.
Equally provocative, and you need powerful, like a kind of powerful visualization tools. Like we actually with AI, we can kind of gesture and rotate the cube and like zoom in, zoom out. Right?
This is very important. This is very important work.
We can
hope the
enter
AI
the mama
platforms-
matrix, right? Actually, when the stream ends, we will have some difficulty in finding our way out of the mama matrix.
Sorry.
Now I'm
Didn't mean to make
just
you giant. Sorry.
yeah. Now you just pinned on.
Adding people back. He had to go poop. So
All right. Next one is the end of the Late Show with Stephen Colbert.
I think even caring about this is the gayest, most goy and retarded and Jewish.
Well, what happened? What happened to all those people? Did Are they just living happily ever after? Do they have retirement packages? Have they been arrested? Have they been arrested and deported to Guantanamo, to Mars? Like,
You mean the staff of the show?
the staff, they have this enormous army of
Yeah.
people producing this like
Apparently there's like
incredible
apparently
lip
they have like
slop, right?
5,000 people working on the show, something crazy like that.
Yeah, it's like union workers in the New York City subways, right? You know, like basically, you need three. You have like some guy who's in charge of putting in the articles, and then some other guy who takes them out. And I don't know.
My parents are going to kill themselves.
Really.
Yeah, my parents are giant libtards.
Is the
Okay, his
Late
staff is
Show-
about 300 people, but still, that's like
Jesus.
the most insane thing in the world.
Is the Late Show considered part of the cathedral? Is that a wing of the cathedral?
Of course, because it's part of the major media broadcast, whatever.
Right.
It has to be.
Yeah.
If anything, Stephen Colbert is like the personification of the cathedral in a lot of ways. That show, and I don't know, it didn't used to be that way. It was like This is like.
You know,
Nobody- I don't know
after it's all over, you'll be able to talk to all these guys, and they'll just be like, "Yeah, of course I never believed that shit. Who the fuck do you think I was?" Right? You know, and it's just like everybody who's a careerist in the cathedral anyway, like they're all pretending to some extent, and some of them are completely pretending, and you have no idea. And that's one of the great things about our scene. Like nobody, like there's a lot of Nazis, right? But nobody pretends to be a Nazi. We don't have anyone, and that would be a person with a really severe like mental disorder, right? And so there's a kind of frankness, there's a kind of openness that we get here. There's real tolerance, I think.
I kind of pretend to be a Nazi.
Yeah,
I
kind of
think
same.
you are. Never mind.
I'm just.
I mean, you're familiar. You're familiar with the concept of ambient Hitler, right?
Yeah.
You've heard ambient Hitler?
Wait,
Well, my wife got in a car accident yesterday with an illegal,
Okay.
but it was her fault, and I
bad.
really
That
didn't
looks
want.
bad.
I didn't want him to get deported because my wife was retarded. You know, so I don't know. I kind of LARP as an illegal or as
You
a.
didn't want him to be reported because he could work as a
I just
servant
felt
for
like,
your wife.
it sort of goes back to the video game thing. It's like, dude, he was just minding his own business, and my dumb wife just knocked him out. And if we live in libtard hell, so
I
he's
understand
fine.
that. I do feel it's quite possible that he had more pressing business in Guatemala. But be that as it may.
Harrison, would you have felt differently if you had hit the illegal immigrant versus your dumb wife, quote unquote?
Yeah, I still kind of would have felt a little bit bad. I just look, and you know what?
It's not you deporting him; it's God. Like God
I
may
know,
put him in
it's
that
true.
place at that time. Like, don't you know about determinism? Right?
I just
Like,
kind of
everything is
realized
determined.
in that moment, I realized I'm a faggot, and I don't have a stomach for.
I know it's a problem. Neither do I. But let me explain the concept of ambient Hitler.
Yeah.
So
That
basically, like we all understand Hitler, like Nazi this, Nazi is, and you can make anything Nazi. You can make an
Ambient,
alarm
not
clock.
ambient Hitler, not
Ambient.
Ambient.
That's when you're sleepwalking
And-
like this.
Right. No, it's ambient Hitler. And the idea of ambient Hitler comes from, it's essentially the same as the concept of ambient music, which was of course coined by Brian Eno. And the idea of ambient, and it's really difficult to do really well, is that it's there, it's present, but it doesn't jump out at you. Your mind is not just like, oh, that's music, or oh, that's Hitler, right? It's just like subtle. And so, for example, what band from the 80s and 90s really, made huge amounts of money off of ambient Hitler?
Oh,
Pantera.
wow.
Not ambient enough.
Slayer. Give us a genre.
Death disco.
Death disco.
Marilyn Manson?
No, he was like 90s, not 90s.
Oh, you said 80s and 90s?
80s
Yeah.
and 90s.
I was like,
Hitler.
Judas Priest?
No, he's
Guys,
Death disco.
Everyone
Death
misses
disco.
this.
Kiss.
New Order. New
Oh, New
Order.
Order.
/
Interesting.
Joy Division. And
Oh,
everyone's
yeah,
like,
Joy Division,
oh,
right.
Oh yeah, Joy Division, and that's how ambient Hitler works. Once you see it, you're like, that's Hitler. But the thing is, you don't see it unless you're kind of looking for it for instance. So, for example, you ever been in New York City? You hail a cab, right? Well, what if you hail a cab and it's like 80% hail, but also like 20% Heil, right? You're kind of exactly that's ambient Hitler, and you can sort of practice that in kind of a lot of different walks, I think, of life. And
Stepping over
even like
puddles.
even like the name Will, like the name of Isaac's agency, right? Like
That's ambient
I'm not
Hitler.
saying it has anything to do with Hitler, but I'm also not saying there wasn't a movie called Triumph of the Will, right? It doesn't. I mean, it's just a word.
We've
It's
got
just a word.
that exact question before, and you know how I deflect it?
How do you
I
deflect it?
say,
You say you're a fucking Michelin Jew faggot.
that's the ambient, the opposite of Hitler. No, I just say it's a play on agency. I'm like, agency and will. It's like, agency and will. Like, you know
Very
what I mean?
Jewish.
Right, and
I
then
say
if it's
fun.
then if it's a hot girl, you're just like, by the way, you have no agency, and use my will.
This is
to rape you.
what
That's
Isaac
why
said.
no women work there, because it's an agency. They don't have they can't possibly work at the agency.
This is what Isaac said. Black Rifle Coffee, which is also the sponsor of this podcast. Shout out Black
True.
Rifle Coffee.
Black Rifle Coffee sponsored this. Are they trying to like reclaim their good name after like all the cucking stuff?
No,
Yeah,
that's
no,
the
it's a
bit.
different.
The bit
It's
is
a
that
Oh,
spinoff. Spinoff.
blacked rifle.
Yeah, Isaac's starting. Isaac is a marketing guy. He's starting
yeah. Burn the coal. Let's see.
No,
Burn the
see,
coal. Something that rhymes with
Burn the
coal.
coal.
Black. Burn the coal, but it's not paid. It's something that rhymes with coal. Burn the coal.
the fact that Yarvin laughed that hard at Blacked makes me think like he's at least watching Blacked porn. So that's why I was like,
No, I'm familiar with the memes.
I know you're a married
That's just
man.
ambient. That's ambient nigger.
And
Sure. I mean, look. I grew up listening to the BBC, right? It's like beep, beep, beep. This is London. Right?
we all grew up with a little BBC, right?
Shortwave, BBC, shortwave, BBC, right?
Shortwave BBC.
Sure.
all right.
It wasn't AM. It wasn't FM. I mean, you can receive that shit anywhere.
Next topic is the Trump $250 bill, which is apparently being printed imminently.
The fuck out of here.
That's fucking amazing.
Yay. Next topic.
Yeah, lame one.
And the next topics are the Trump.
I mean,
bill.
the thing is, here's the question. There's an important question here. The important question is, has Donald Trump himself ever watched the film Idiocracy? Is he familiar? If you said President Camacho to him in the Oval Office, would he be like, oh yeah, President
JD
Camacho?
Vance for sure has.
I really dig that. I'm sure JD Vance has, but like, I mean, I can't say I'm sure, but like but has Trump himself, and would he appreciate Idiocracy?
He definitely
I think
has.
he'd love it. I think he'd love it.
I
don't think
know,
he'd
is he a
realize. I don't think
comedy
he'd get it.
guy. He might not be a comedy. He doesn't like.
He's a
throw lot of, like,
comedian, but I
comedy.
don't know that he likes other people's
Yeah.
comedy. Really,
Right.
he's a
Yeah,
great
one of
maker of comedy.
One of the things about Trump that I always think about is that even though he's the funniest guy ever, I can't actually remember ever seeing him laugh. Like him actually like break down.
Comedians should never laugh. Every time I'm doing anything stand up like, and I laugh, and especially in an uncontrolled way, I've just like fucked it. That just means he's a master.
He's had a couple laughs. He's done a couple.
He'll laugh at other people's jokes in a somewhat performative but still genuine way.
Yeah,
Like he'll laugh at you. He'll laugh to put people at ease. He's always sincere in his expressions. That's one of the things that basically makes people feel really confident in Trump, is that actually, like, there's a lot of bullshit, but he's also completely sincere. And
I think that's his best quality.
oh yeah.
Is this a
Absolutely.
better look for us? Hold on, let me see. No, that's not what we wanted. Sorry.
You're in LA. Have we brought up the Spencer Pratt phenomenon? Shouldn't
Yeah,
we talk
dude.
about
I've been all
Prattism?
up on that. Yeah, sure. Where's Pratt go here?
I think he goes between gay and goy. You know, the reality TV element sort of puts it on the gay side, but the sort of the groundedness of like we're going to deport the homeless to Auschwitz, which I take to be his plan, an American Auschwitz, of course, is like I mean that's some pretty hardcore goy.
So I went to
Go ahead.
I went to a bunch of fundraisers of his, and sort of we have a piece coming out that's like me going to all these fundraisers for Pratt, and my thesis of it is that it's like a class rebellion. It's like the bottom half of the top class of LA going against the top half of the top class. So it's like you have like the Jewish car dealers, and then you have Jeffrey Katzenberg like on top of them, and this is like the Jewish car dealers, like as Katzenberg is plummeting because Hollywood is dying. This is them like trying to supplant him, basically, because they actually like care about the streets and stuff. Whereas like the Hollywood elites are really dying. So I think Pratt has raised like more money than any candidate ever, because it's all these like kind of more, they're rich, but they don't have the cool job type of people who are like going for Pratt.
Yeah, you're actually like, people actually, you're finding the last group of people who are neither too rich to give a fuck nor too poor to give a fuck. And if there's anything left in literal democracy there, it's basically, the meat in that sandwich, and that's like a single bite of ham at this point, right? It's really one of the things that AI does is it really, because there's sort of no need for this kind of productive class in between the rich and the poor, it sort of creates this like ultimate Elysium dystopia full of like, just scrabbling human filth outside the, the fence where these, delicate aristocrats frolic. Right?
Is Pratt? So is Pratt's kind of the American Kulak in some ways, right?
Well, his dad's a dentist, but he did go to the fanciest. I think he's got family. His family is important in some way.
I mean,
so he went to Crossroads, which is like
dentist
the fancy
feels kind of Kulaki to me.
No,
nowadays,
very, yeah,
right?
no. Dentist is very Kulaki.
And so,
right?
but is he doing is Spencer Pratt a populist candidate? And can you be a populist candidate running for mayor? I'm kind of curious about. Maybe Curtis, I'm kind of curious where you.
Well, he's certainly a populist candidate because he's basically tapping into. I mean, the classic expression of populism is Slobodan Milosevic goes down to Kosovo and he uses this immortal line like, "No one will dare to beat you anymore." And just like resolving all the abstract bullshit, like Kieran Bass is the mayor of like communist climate change or whatever, and like actually like standing in front of the people and saying, "No one will dare to beat you anymore," is just like that's almost a founding kind of act in a way, and that's really the essence of populism. And populism basically has to take up all of these like completely sheep-like people who are like deep in this in the depths of like learned helplessness. They think that they can do nothing. They know, in fact, that they can do nothing. And then, this voice comes along and lets them laugh at the powerful and gives them a little bit of hope. And maybe, that can dredge up enough of the remaining 12 normal people in LA to outvote the enormous herds of, meat puppets that the Services Employees International Union has been dragging into the polling booth or,
I think Pratt-esque people are as we get closer to 2028, and I think as the Trump cycle ends, 2016 to 2028, finally it's kind of coming to an end. I think the horizon after 2028 is going to be more of these Pratt characters, which he's Trump-esque for sure. But it's
but the thing is, but the genius of Pratt, of course, is that he's appealing to people. He's appealing to blue kulaks. He's appealing to people who do not have any positive association with the traditional Republican Party, right? And so I don't know. Vance,
that's what Trump did. I think in some degrees.
No, Trump does not speak
Not
shitlib
now,
fluently.
not now, but in 2016 or 15, there was a twinge of that, I would say, where
Yeah, but
people
he just
were,
doesn't, he like literally doesn't speak the language. It's like, you know, in a slightly different context, there are various people that I know in France that would like to restore the monarchy. Specifically, they would love to restore Louis the 20th. And what's amazing is that Louis the 20th is actually like the grandson also of Franco. So he's got some sick blood. The problem is whoever decided to raise Louis the 20th decided that it was totally fine for him to speak in French in a thick Spanish accent. I'm just like, oh my God, this is, it's like the Norwegian guy in India. Like, it's so embarrassing. Like, except he's the king of Norway, but he speaks in an Indian accent stuff.
well, you know, Napoleon had a Corsican accent.
I know, but that was authentic. Like, I mean, this is just embarrassing. I don't know.
And people tell
But
the
yeah,
difference
yeah.
between a French
In
accent
any
and a
case,
Corsican accent.
sorry.
Well, Corsican accent is like a Spanish accent.
Yeah,
Or
but
it's Spanish,
all, like,
Italian. It's like,
Yeah, he was clearly not a French. He wasn't like
to a French
native
person,
speaker.
it does not read as white. Okay, it just doesn't read as white.
Southern Europe,
And
Mexico,
and the
what's
thing is,
difference?
yeah, but the thing is, Trump is the same for like basically a shitlib, an NPR listener. Trump does not read as white. He's like some other race. He's an alien, right? And the great thing that Pratt learned at Crossroads, or maybe that Vance learned at Yale, is actually to speak in completely fluent shitlib. And like, actually, the things that you can do, you know, to a traditional Republican, it's like, why are you even talking to those people, right? But the things that you can, it's the ruling class is why you're talking to them. And the things that you can do when you actually speak that language fluently, culturally, at every different level, which is what a Crossroads or a Yale, I mean, it's designed, these schools are designed to take Sudanese tribesmen and turn them into Yale men. You know, they certainly turn them into something. And yeah, so actually having a good academic pedigree like that really, really matters for cultural reasons.
Well, you know, the smartest thing he did, right? In his platform, he included this whole thing of that they're killing the dogs down on Skid Row, like on camera.
Yeah.
So one of the things homeless people do is down there is they like inject the dogs with fentanyl to
Well,
like
what are you going to
test
do?
the
What are you going to, first of all, you're going to just put that straight into your body without any animal testing. Okay. Secondly, generally, like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do all day down there? Right. You know, what is there to do? Like fentanyl, right?
Yeah,
But there's also animals and like,
yeah, no, but he put all these like dog torture videos front and center. Really smart, because it's like, what woman is going to accept the dog torture? You know,
I know.
And so
This is why one of my, you know, I mean, we should just forget about that whole part of the world. But I've always been astounded that Israel did not put the like October 7th, you know, Hamas snuff video online. Like, you know, because like that would have been just this incredible tool to like kind of rivet shitlibs to the chair and like make.
Did they show it to you? Did they pull you aside? I think they showed it to people. They showed it.
They showed it to people. They were doing 20th century bullshit. It's like the equivalent of like, oh wow, we found the son of the president's laptop with all this incriminating stuff on it. What do we do with it? Oh, why don't we give the New York Post so that they can run a bunch of stories based on it, because everyone knows the New York Post is the second most influential newspaper in New York.
They did do screenings, but they did it with all the people that like were already going to be on Israel's side.
On their side.
Yeah, it was
they
like Gal
Gadot.
Like Gal Gadot took.
Yeah, right. No, you don't need Gal Gadot in there. You need.
Well, me and Brad Parscale sent you an invite, Curtis, and you declined it. So yeah, you're on a list.
I must have not seen it. I'm sorry. I don't actually want to watch it myself. I don't want to watch it myself. I want libs to have to watch it. Right?
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
like
they because here's the thing: you could have basically rolled that out into movie theaters in the U.S. and it would have been a little bit of like maybe that it turns into like a whole. The opposite of what you want it to be, but you could have
You
I
could have
think-
just put it on the internet. In movie theaters, you'd have to
Yeah.
probably pair it with maybe some more upbeat, maybe some comedic material. But like, you know,
It's like
Hamas
Woody
follies.
Allen.
Hamas,
Woody
yeah, yeah.
Allen's like coming in the
Well, the
middle.
thing is, I'm sure, like, think about it. Like, you know, there's a lot of atrocities on these GoPros or whatever. But I'm sure if you needed to put together like a Hamas blooper reel, you could do that too.
Well, it's like India, the worst country in the world. It's
Yeah,
the same
no.
thing.
I mean, the idea, you know, Israel probably already has this. Okay, they probably already have the October 7th blooper reel.
No, dude.
Think about it.
This
It's
is the
there.
real Israelis are not. They're not American Jews. American Jews.
They're
have
not
a sense
that
of
funny.
humor. Yeah, they
No,
have a
no,
sense
it's
of
true.
humor.
It's
they have
true.
a sense
It's
of
true. It's true.
timing.
That is
They
why
understand
it's
media.
yeah.
Israelis
don't really-
the Israelis
really
are
understand.
retarded. I think it's because they're just Eastern European. I don't know.
Yeah.
And they haven't grown up in the U.S.
And many of them are not real Jews at all. It's true. And some of them that are like Sephardic, which is like basically kind of more of an intermediate form, like the Erectus or Africanus, right, of the Jew.
Yeah, sure.
And
They're Puerto
the yeah, they're basically the Puerto Ricans or Mexicans of the Jews, right? You know, and so yeah, you wouldn't expect them to have this kind of creative nonlinear thinking. But you know, I guess the Ashkenazi elite are too lived out to basically think in this kind of, you know, fucked up
It
way.
is
But,
weird
like,
though. You do raise a very good point. Why did that not come out?
Well,
You'd
the
think that
Israeli-
would be shared around. It's
The
a very
Israeli
interesting
government
point.
basically right away in the aftermath of October 7th, and this was a terrible idea, they shut down their propaganda and media division. And the woman who was leading it said the day after October 7th, I'm resigning because all efforts, all money, all resources should go towards the military, and we shouldn't spend any of it on PR, which was maybe the worst decision Jews have ever made. The one thing they're good at is PR.
no
Everybody
shit.
says that, but they're actually terrible at it.
Right.
It's been 60 years. They're the most hated country in the entire
Well, no,
world.
Yeah,
Israel-
no, it's
Jews are good at PR. This is kind of what
That's right.
what Curtis is saying. Jews in America are the best at PR.
the thing is basically,
not
and
good at
you will,
Yeah,
you will, if you read early Israeli propaganda, you will see that in many ways the early Israelis were like, yes, we are going to Israel to become rooted in the land so that we are not rootless cosmopolitan Jews.
Mhm.
They basically sort of wanted to create this like stern Nordic nation in the sand, or what was then the sand of Palestine. And so by the very virtue of like becoming like Sabras or whatever, you know, they lost this kind of ironic, you know, I think there are actually very few homosexuals there, and there were some, and many of them were killed on October 7th, but it's like not really like they've lost even like the gayness of being Jewish, I feel. And there's like no fun in being an Israeli Jew. You're just like kind of an asshole.
Yeah.
At least,
You're
you know,
based.
that's my
All right, is there a good racist topic we can get into?
I mean,
We're
yeah,
gonna get
so
away
I
from
think
politics for a second.
I was saving this one for last. Is Somali woman, two of them, Somali women charged in the $21 million Medicaid fraud case that happened this week.
I mean, I'm sure whatever sentence they get will be worth less than the money. So these women are winners.
Yeah.
There's something
Right
going
in the middle.
on. I don't know, like, yeah.
Cute though. She's cute. Not gonna
No.
not hating on that one.
Well, first of
I
all,
would-
okay. Like, this is a Somali.
I would
This
come
is a Somali.
sideways.
This is not a Somali Bantu. This is a Somali. And as I
This
always
is
say,
a Kosan? Are these the Kosans?
No, Kosans are in South Africa.
This is
These are
Nilotic.
tribes.
This is a Nilotic people. And as I always say, Nilotic, and this is something that the Belgians observed when they first came to Central Africa. And the way I put it is that I judge a man by the width of his nose, not the color of his skin.
Very interesting.
Wait, so
good.
what's the deal with the Nilotics? What's the Nilotic?
Well, look at the nose. Look at the nose.
Okay.
The nose. It's
Not-
slender.
Why do they
It's a
have
slender
noses
nose.
like that? Is that so
Because
they
they're
can run
descended-
long distances?
No, it's because they're probably descended from white people
Yeah.
who also have thin noses.
I
The
see.
nose.
They're just
Yeah,
super-
but they're like the worst ones. So how do we explain this? How do we explain how bad the Somalis are?
There's a Jewish element there. Like, you know, that's the same
Ah.
part of the world. It's the same. I don't know if Somali is an Afro-Asiatic language, but certainly Hebrew is. Like it has to brush the trees aside. And yeah, in any case, it's like, the Tutsis, the Somalis. I mean, the Somalis, opinion. Well, do you know the word Jareer?
No. Jareer.
Jareer is a Somali word meaning African American, and it's complimentary. Oh, wait, it's not.
Well, the Ethiopians and the Somalis are kind of close, and the Ethis have a lot of the Indio, whatever Eurasian blood. The Ethiopians are fine for the most part.
So
Yeah,
they love owning parking lots.
We're calling this one basically gay and Jewish. Somali fraud is fundamentally Jewish.
Gay and Jewish, yeah. I noticed that the Jewish,
Or gay and
one of the
retarded.
problems, this is an unbalanced matrix, and like there isn't the continuum between Jew and retarded is it's hard to populate that quadrant.
Yeah,
Right.
we've run into this problem before. So what's something that's super Jew and retarded?
Israeli rape dogs was one last week, for example.
No, what I took,
but that wasn't even real.
What I took particular exception to was the movie Marty Supreme. I thought that it was both Jewish.
Oh my God!
I thought that it was really, really bad.
I walked
thought
out.
that it was
I couldn't.
really bad.
Yeah, I couldn't.
My
thought
wife.
it was
We're
really
sitting there.
bad.
I'm sitting there with my wife. My wife's very, she's not anti-Semitic, even though we're trying to get her there. I'm not at all. I love the Jews, but I'm watching fucking Marty Supreme, and I said, wait, is this whole movie just about a Jewish guy that plays ping pong? And that is I thought it got like nominated for like 48 Academy Awards. I could not believe this was.
Yeah, it's basically like a Jewish minstrel show. Like, it's like essentially like imagine the same thing, but for an African American. It's like Superfly or something. He goes around just nigging out,
Yeah, dude, it was
and
like,
it's
what
like,
is this?
yeah, and like that appears to be the only content in Marty's. I mean, all the actors are very good, but it's just like there's no drama. There's no like none of the Aristotelian laws. A24 appears to have decided that they're like so successful on the stock market that like who cares about fucking Aristotle? And like unless like no.
And it was one of the. It's one of the.
You only got there by caring about Aristotle, and like not caring about Aristotle will take you away again.
So wait, why is it a Jewish
director?
minstrel show? Because it's like he's just Jewish.
Because he goes around like Jewing out in this ridiculously caricatured manner.
Right.
Like he's like borrowing money and seducing women and all in these like absurdly like, betraying women on this just absurdly Semitic manner. Right. And translate that into African American, and you've got like
a gangster
really
movie.
repelling. There's just like what was it called? There's something using the word coon, like back in the late 19th century. Like, it's a minstrel show. It's like basically like coon tunes. Like, no, but for Jews. As a Jew, even as a Mish, I won't accept that. Like,
it was
as
like
a Jew. It's a caricature, and as a Mish, it's like shitty fucking movie that's like way too Jewy.
Yeah,
right.
Like so, like for black people, but
but wasn't it kind of like justifying it? Wasn't it kind of like you were supposed to love him?
Yeah, and that's even worse, right? That's even worse. Like we shouldn't have that in our society.
Yeah,
right?
I took it as like why you should love your landlord, like why your landlord is.
And also, he kind of like
sucks
sucks at ping pong. Like ping pong has gotten a lot better since then. Like I don't know, like I mean, there's just all these like it's just disconnected dramatic ends, and like how can you take this shit seriously? Oh wait, you can't. Oh wait, we the filmmakers don't even take it seriously, and I'm just like.
Yeah, Safdie. It was a Safdie flick. I was very.
So that one's Jewish and retarded. We're putting that.
Yeah, and Uncut Gems, for example, is a decent film, despite having Adam Sandler.
I loved Uncut Gems too, actually.
And it has Adam Sandler in it, and like this has much better actors, and like it's fucking terrible.
Yeah. But why is Uncut Gems not a Jewish minstrel show? In the same sense?
It's Jewish, but it's not a minstrel show. It's a fucking movie with a fucking through line and a fucking plot. It's fine to be Jewy. Yeah. It's not like you can't be black on film. It's just like that can't be the point of a feature film is blackity black, black, black. And the same as like Jewiness, right? I mean, that's true for India, worst country. It's true for India, worst country in the world, but that's kind of a different thing.
Just exhausting, both of those movies.
Yeah. Uncut Gems I liked for sure. It is different because there's anybody can kind of connect to the manic psychopath that Sanders playing. Nobody can connect to fucking the ping pong Jew, the super ping pong Jew. I don't. It was just so bizarre. It's totally this character. It's like it's a caricature, and it made me. It actually.
I'm not bad at ping pong. I would probably beat any of you at ping pong, and I still like this. This film left me cold. I don't know.
Are you going to use your giant Coke can cock when you do it too? Sorry, Curtis.
I haven't thought of it. You know, I think it might need to be a little. It might need to be a little bit more prehensile, if you know the term.
No. I don't know 90% of the words you've used during this podcast. I am the dumbest.
We just need it hard, Curtis.
You know what? You know, actually, what is Jewish and retarded? You know what's Pratt kind of is Jewish and retarded because all of his supporters are like retarded Jews. You know, there's a certain type of Jew that's super retarded. Like, you know, like Jews are supposed to be better at like.
It's true.
Like,
No, you're onto something here because the kind of Jew who supports Pratt is like the Jew who's has not outsmarted himself, right? You know, he hasn't like been like. He isn't full of like big theories. He's just like, this is bullshit. And like, you know, his the other Jew who like got like 200 points more on the SAT is just like, well, this is structural privilege, right? You don't understand structural privilege. Oh yeah, I guess you never were that bright, right? You know, and like that's kind of the form of Jedi mind trick, right? And
it's true. It's like the more linguistic Jews tie themselves up in knots, and it's like, shut the fuck up, you know. Whereas it's like total like finance Jew who's just like pure, like who barely can speak English, but he's like not an idiot.
The Trump thing. Trump is sort of spiritually a New York Jew in a lot of ways.
Yeah, Trump.
So a certain kind of New York Jew, like a real estate, like a tough. He's like what's the guy who owns the Yankees? He's that kind of Jew, right? Steinbrenner. He's a Steinbrenner Jew. He's not like you know.
He's not an our crowd.
He's not a Franz Boas Jew, you know, like that's the reason he's on the side of the white race. Not Steinberg. It's not Steinberg. It's
Steinbrenner.
Steinbrenner.
Fucking Mexican.
Steinberg. All right, let's wrap this up. I feel Curtis has already given us 2 long hours here. And last thing here, is there one last one?
So last thing today was obviously the launch of Mama Magazine. We got 6.
Congratulations. And where can I buy Mama Magazine? Is it sold in stores? Is it online?
Just
it's not gay, so it's just online. We're not doing. It's not about the whole premise of Mama is it's neither exit nor return. So no nostalgia bullshit, no crypto bullshit. It's just a magazine for right now. That's it. It's like where people digest shit. So no print. We're not losing $1 billion fucking on print like every one of these magazines.
Right.
You know, this is built to last.
It's just content, and you're just gonna jam it up people's ass whether they like it or not.
100%. Written, audio, video, a lot of video. Anyway, sorry, Denzel, I cut you off.
No, all good. But so based on this podcast, where would you, Curtis, place Mama as a media brand?
It is squarely in the center of the matrix, exactly where you have it.
That's where we put Fuentes. Was right in the center.
Nick Fuentes down.
Excellent. Well, on that note, gentlemen, thank you, and thank you all to the whoever. How many do we have a live stream count from Twitter? Do we get?
Oh yeah, we're over almost at 3,000.
We were at 3,000 current viewers. Pretty good.
Pretty solid.
Thank you, viewers.
That's a little auditorium. That's like a high school, basketball auditorium. You know, they're stomping their feet. They're, they're pounding. They want an encore, but I'm sorry, guys, there will be no encore.
So great.
Thank you.
All right,
thank you very much, everyone. It's been a great pleasure. And
I'm doing outro music. Sorry.
All right.
Stop.
Good Goodbye, Curtis. Thank you so
There you go,
much.
guys.
This was
Thank
great.
you. I think this was good. This was quality content,
It was great.
premium content, and I will see you guys on the internet.
On the
10
next
out
one.
of 10. Thanks, Curtis. Okay,
Yeah.
All
bye.
right. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Are we all leaving? This is over? Yeah, play the outro. Play the outro music.
Is there outro?
Hit the outro music. There is no outro music.
Hold on. Should we do
Play the
should we
song
do,
one more
Should we
time.
do chill hop? Or oh yeah, we could just go back to this. All right, cool. See you, babe. See you, baby.
See you, babes.
Oye, del Valle de San Fernando hasta las estrellas, camina. "31 years old, reading from the ancient text. Abraham was 99, I was wondering what comes next. Hope my rabbi's modern ways might let me skip the knife. But the covenant is strict when you're changing up your life. I thought about the pain, my girl said walk away, but the spirit pulled